Alright, I'd like to show and tell you a little bit about my 1980 Ford Fairmont. This is a sedan model, two-door. It's almost completely unmolested. I know a very large part of its history. It's actually running at the moment. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's pretty quiet. It's never been in a wreck. Kept indoors for many years. Unfortunately, I don't have a place to keep it indoors right now, but I have been keeping a car cover on it. And if you're keen on Ford Fairmont, you'll notice, thanks to the old car cover, I don't have the original hood emblem on it anymore. The car cover broke that. But I got one just as nice on there. Okay, I'll start showing you some particulars about the car. The seats, it's all natural wear. I like to jokingly call it natural patina. Anyway, we'll get a close-up of the mileage. It is original mileage. The dash is really not all that bad. I have a cover on it, but it's just got a few normal cracks due to sun dry. The seats actually need the cloth to be replaced. The back one looks better than the front one. This one looks the best, but still, they need the cloth replaced. I've showed it to no less than 4 upholsterers, and 2 of those upholsterers told me that the vinyl, or naugahyde if you want to call it this, is still pliable enough to hold a seam. So the only thing that should be needed to fix these seats would be just the cloth to be replaced. I priced it for $350 from one of them, but I don't know if that would do any of the listeners any good. Get close to this right here. I'd like to mention this. As you can tell, the carpet is actually not very worn, a little dirty on the heel pad there, but the carpet is faded up here due to, well, 36 years. But I did talk to some people that told me there is a dye that exists that can bring this carpet back to the natural color very inexpensively. And I'll show you the motor. I'd like for you to notice that there's no rust in this car, really, to speak of. It's got a couple little specks. The worst, really, are a couple little specks of surface rust right inside the fender lips. Absolutely none in the rockers. You'll find most everything under the hood is exactly the way that it was the day she rolled off the line, the 6th month of 1980. And I say most everything is the way it was. There has been a few small modifications. I painted the breather recently with wrinkle paint. I think it really looks good. and it was needing a little sprucing up, so that got painted. This car is extremely clean and extremely unmolested. Most everything here is the way Henry put it, jokingly. We all know Henry was gone way before this came along, but I'll show you around in the passenger side here. And this is one of the worst spots on the seats. This stuff is just old and dry, and it's brittle. And I guess we'll take us a little cruise up the road. I really don't know how good it's gonna do for you because it's so quiet that you'll pretty much not really hear it run. But you'll see stuff go by the windows and you'll hear how quiet it is. I kind of forgot to show you one last thing before we take off from here and go up the road. The trunk. It's very, very clean, very, very solid, all original. I'll peel back the carpet here on one side. Let you take a look. It's extremely solid. All down in the tire well is extremely solid. It's a good spare, it's pumped up. I won't pull the spare out to show you, you'll just have to take my word for it. The tire well is as solid as this. Now I think we're ready to take a little cruise. And if you will, Matthew, around here in the trunk gutter, cars are famous for rusting out in the corners. A lot of these older cars have some trouble with rust around the trunk gutter. It's a good place to look when you really want to see how rusty they are. As you can tell, this one's pretty much as solid and almost as clean as it was from the factory. Okay, we're at the edge of the parking lot where we just rolled some footage on the 1980 Ford Fairmont, and we're going to go for a little cruise down the road. It really doesn't make much engine noise. Just pretty much hear wind and tires. I'll stop one time just to see if you can hear it go through the gears. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. Okay, we're in first. There went second. And there's third. And we're just creeping along. And it drives. I wasn't the first owner of the car, but it drives, I feel safe in saying, as well as it did when it was brand new. It's just a very nice driving, nice riding car, and I would literally depend on it to drive it just anywhere. This is literally a drive anywhere car. And we're running out of time, so I hope you enjoy the footage of the 1980 Ford Fairmont.